Welcome to this segment of History at Home, presented in partnership by Pasadena Museum of History and Pasadena Media. While we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment in 2020, it is worth noting that many women had won the right to vote in their states prior to national suffrage. On October 10, 1911, a proposition passed granting California women the right to vote. The PMH Archives houses a fascinating scrapbook documenting the saga of suffrage. The scrapbook belonged to Mary A. Holmes, who resided in Los Angeles and had relatives in Pasadena. Born in 1843 in Chautauqua, New York, Mary grew up when women like Susan B. Anthony were advocating for women's rights. Mary and her husband Joseph had relocated to Southern California in 1886, which put Mary at the apex of women's rights and the issue of suffrage in her new state. In 1896, women's suffrage had failed in California, but in 1911, a suffrage proposition was sponsored for a second time by State Senator and Majority Leader Charles W. Bell from Pasadena. Suffragists used many different ways of advocating for themselves as they pushed for the vote. Mary carefully collected and organized the events of Southern California club women in the Ebell Club, Women's Progressive League, Socialist, Good Government Club, and Friday Morning Club into a scrapbook. Articles documenting selling tea, leaflet droppings from hot air balloons, auto tours, and more fill the pages of her scrapbook. Women's suffrage was not supported equally throughout the state. In San Francisco in particular, opposition was so strong that many thought defeat was inevitable. However, they were wrong. California's male voters narrowly approved Proposition 4 with 50.7% support, passing by only 3,587 votes. Before the vote, women used their social networks to influence economic and political decisions. Suffragists now harness their skill sets, social networks, and club activities to drive the registration process. Their efforts were put towards getting women registered and educating other women on not just why they should vote, but also how and where to vote. When the register had closed on November 9th, 82,000 women had registered in Los Angeles. Women in Los Angeles were the first women to vote in the state because of a municipal election that was held on December 5, 1911. The Los Angeles Herald took note of the first woman to cast her vote in this election in an article that was titled, "Receives First Ballot and Places It in Box Minute After Polls Open." After women became voters, Mary's scrapbook keeps a running record of women's progress in California as they pushed for a redefinition of their rights as citizens. The what if and exuberance women in California felt in the early days after the passage of suffrage leaped from the pages of her scrapbook. California was the sixth state to grant women the right to vote. The state-by-state campaign gave strength to the national movement, and in August 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified. While Mary A. Holmes' scrapbook does not encompass the entire struggle or everyone who participated, it does provide valuable insight into women's participation in California politics. Please join us next time for another fascinating segment of History at Home.